Today we're gonna give this Home Depot Witch Animatronic a total makeover.
But the challenge in this video is we're gonna do it on a budget. We're only gonna use things that we find at the dollar store.
We just got here, we're gonna head inside and see what we can find.
Hopefully it's good stuff.
Our general goal for this makeover isn't to change her into something totally different, but just make her better. Exactly how we're gonna do that? No idea. We're just kind of looking for inspiration and getting lots of random stuff. But that's the fun of this challenge. We can't really plan ahead and overthink everything. We just gotta go with what we can find.
Well, we found a lot of stuff, but also not a lot of stuff. This seems like a very small amount of things to do a whole makeover
It
with.
really does. I don't know. Wish us luck.
Here we go. It's another 7-foot tall animatronic.
Yes.
Because they're all huge this year for some reason.
Step one, base.
Got it.
I think this goes right here.
Whole C goes up here.
There we go.
Got it.
Does it go that way? I cannot tell from this picture which side of that is the front.
So she has no feet and no legs because she just has this giant skirt.
Yeah.
That helps. Another thing that's nice is it's just one pole. So if we want to change her posture or her stance or anything, you know, we just have this one pole to contend with instead of several, which is kind of nice. And now I imagine we could connect these wires up here. So this whole staff has LEDs inside of it, which is pretty cool. So we have to hook it up.
To this.
This goes here. She got a turtleneck. Don't want to make a neck? Just wear a long sleeve turtleneck.
right.
Plug this one in. She's actually got a bunch of servos in her head, which is like a new thing for this year. We're starting to see more complex animations in these animatronics, which is kind of neat. The face sculpt is not bad.
And she actually has color. Like she's got a
Yeah.
little bit of red on her cheeks. And
It actually has eyebrows.
now we turn her on.
Please come closer and let me get a good look at you. Oh, how dear, what's happened to your face? Oh, I'm so happy you've come to help celebrate. And so have all my critters slithering around your feet.
She's cool.
I love that they're taking a step in the right direction and adding just more stuff.
Blinking of the eyes, and her eyes move, and like the head goes all around. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I do wish she had some body motion, but
I do think there's a lot of stuff we can do, so let's get started with our makeover. Okay, let's go over the rules of the challenge. Now, we're gonna use all the materials that we got at the dollar store, but for tools, we're gonna use some real basic stuff like a screwdriver and a utility knife and pliers, like things we already had around the shop. Real basic things, but you can even get these at the dollar store too, so I think they count.
the thing we're not gonna use though is like the airbrush or the 3D printer. We're gonna keep it to basic stuff.
And for materials like acrylic paints, for example, you saw that we could get these at the dollar store, but we already have them all, like super glue and blue tape and stuff. Like we're not gonna buy it again, but you can get these at the dollar store, so they're fair game.
The one exception to the rule though is gonna be liquid latex. We really wanna repaint her face just a little bit, and we can't do that with just acrylic because if we do, it's gonna crack off and flake and not stick, and it's just bad news. So if we mix a little bit of the acrylic with the latex, it'll stick to her face, it'll be great.
Or if you don't want to do that, you can just use latex house paint, and that would work just fine too, in place of this.
I definitely have a lot of anxiety about what we are going to do with her. Like, usually we come up with a plan and then we go find all the materials we need and then we put her together. But this is like backwards. This is like, we're gonna go get some random materials and then try and make something with it.
We do
And
have string though, Jaimie.
yes, we sure have string and some creepy cloth.
Holding
moss.
back and like using 5 materials only, not really in our comfort zone, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, first thing is broad strokes before we get into fine details, and what I'm gonna try to do is fix her pose, so instead of being in that classic robotic animatronic pose, we're gonna try to bend her over and kind of make her look like a crooked old hag in the swamp. Also, when her eyes turn on, they look up. She's 7 feet tall. Why is she looking up? You know, if you wanted to go real simple and just make her shorter, you could just take this pole off and turn her into a goblin.
That's so
She's-
small.
Or she's like a little halfling or something, you know? My objective is to put a little bit of a bend into each of these poles, and I'm not gonna use anything fancy. I'm literally gonna hit it with a hammer and a brick.
Is it working?
Yes. This is high-tech stuff, you guys. On this top piece, if I just start hitting this with a hammer, it's gonna deform the hole and I'll never get the thing back in. So I'm gonna use a wine cork and stuff it in there, and that should at least help a little bit to keep the shape of the bottom. Okay, let's try that.
Problems?
I can't get the wine cork out. Come on. Oh, okay, good. Let's see if this goes in at least a little bit. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Okay, that'll do.
Oh, she is definitely hunched now.
Look at that. Oh, my back. She's like a 100-year-old swamp witch. Like, she doesn't have good posture. This is great. So with just the bend in the spine, you can kind of see what happens here is that now she's looking too far down. So I'm gonna do one more thing, and that's put a little bit of a counter bend kind of up towards the top of the spine and the neck. Look, she's looking right at me. That is way better. Now, instead of the staff being straight up and down, the staff is like this. So what we're gonna do is bend the arm carefully without breaking it. You saw nothing. A little bit of bend in there. Basically just reposition that arm so that it looks like she's actually leaning on the staff. This hand conveniently already swivels, so I shouldn't have to do anything. And look at that. So we've got a little bit of asymmetry with the arms. They're not both at the same exact level. We've got a nice pose. She's leaning on the staff. Perfect. Now we can move on to the clothes.
They actually did a decent job of weathering her skirt, but her shirt looks like she just bought it out of JCPenney. So we are gonna fix that. I am gonna put a bunch of layers of creepy cloth over her shirt, but I'm gonna use this as a base layer. So what I wanna do first is weather this so it looks all gross and grungy. Now I'm gonna paint her. I'm gonna give her some moss greens and some mold and mildew and I don't know, swamp goo. Okay, I'm finally gonna use something that we got at the dollar store. We've got creepy cloth, and they had beige and they had this dark gray, but I really want green, so I'm just gonna paint them green. And we have green creepy cloth, mostly green. So I made 3 of these, and what I think I'm gonna do is add them to her original shawl, and we'll throw them all up there and chop them up. I think having all these different colors will be nice because it'll create some depth in there. I think I'm actually gonna use her old shawl and put it on her skirt and add to this stuff. So maybe put it in front here. That looks better, and now she has a full thing instead of like, why was it only on part of her skirt? I did make a 3rd one, but I like how this is looking. So I think we're gonna hold off on this and use it later, maybe on the hat, maybe in her basket, something like that. This plastic skeleton we got, I think I'm gonna use his bones for something later, but the head, I'm gonna rip that off, paint it gold, and we'll use it as like a clasp for her shawl.
When you're working on projects like this, it's a great idea to surround yourself with inspiration. And one of the ways we like to do that is with Displate, the sponsor of today's video.
Displate makes one-of-a-kind metal posters designed to capture your unique passions.
You can get branded posters like these vintage Universal monsters, Dungeons and Dragons, and Marvel, just to name a few. And they have a huge selection of unique artwork too.
I love this anatomy style poster we got. It's great for a quick skeleton or muscle reference, and it just looks so cool. Whatever you're looking for, Displate is about collecting what you love.
We've been on a big indie horror game kick lately, so we got this set up in our background. And what I really like is this unique magnet mounting system. You don't have to have any holes in the walls or anything like that. And what's really clever is you can make little adjustments to them, or you can even swap them out entirely for different posters if you want to change the mood or the theme in your room. It's super clever, I love it.
Displate posters are passion printed on metal in the EU, and the print quality is fantastic.
So if you want to surround yourself with inspiration, definitely check out Displate. We'll drop a link in the description below. And if you use our code WICKEDMAKERS, you can get up to 40% off your order.
And now back to the project. We're gonna give her a bone necklace with these little bones from the store. They're made of foam, but first I need to paint them because they are covered in glitter.
They're covered in glitter?
Yes,
Glitter bones?
sparkle bones.
They're kind of fuzzy too.
Well, it's the glitter. Glitter makes them look fuzzy.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
They're growing mold or something. I'm gonna use some of the twine that we got and just hot glue it between the bones to make the necklace. All right, dollar store bone necklace. We're gonna keep the skin tone of the hand as is, but I'm gonna add in some shading and fix up her fingernails.
Hey, Jaimie,
Yeah.
are you technically finger painting right now? Doing some finger paint?
Yes. Yes, I am. So I'm painting the other hand and I'm realizing that the base coat, like the plastic color of this, is not the same as the plastic color of this hand. This is brownish, this is greenish. They don't match. It makes no sense. Also, the sculpt is completely different. Like this is like a wrinkly, weird, bumpy hand and this is not.
Maybe she cut the hand off of a rival witch and stole her hand, or
And put it in place of her hand.
dipped it in some mud, or I don't know.
Yes.
For her rope belt, we kind of did the same thing. Mixed up some brown, green, black, and kind of smushed it on there to make it dirty and moldy.
We're gonna move on to this basket, which is already pretty cool. I love this toad or frog. Is this a frog or a toad? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. I love the bottle too. I think we're gonna start by taking all these pieces off and definitely doing a paint job on the basket itself, and then hopefully adding some stuff to it. So this is that LED mist maker cauldron that we got at the dollar store. Let's check it out, see what it looks like. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So my goal is I'm gonna try to take this thing apart and put it inside the basket so that there's like a poisonous mist emanating from inside of it. So this hole right here is where the bottle was. It fits in there like that. But what I think we're gonna try to do is we're gonna take this thing and we're gonna stuff it through our hole. And then I'm gonna position the steam to come right out of that hole, which I think should work pretty well. Another nice thing is I think I can just conveniently fill this water basin from right here. Oh, that works, awesome. Although pouring the water back out, that water's never coming out. That's okay, just don't hold this upside down. Plug it in, yeah, look at that. That's perfect, that totally worked.
For the basket, I'm gonna put a dark wash on it to like really seep into those cracks, and then we'll follow that up with some dry brushing, bring some of the texture back. For the frog, I'm gonna keep him as is because he's adorable and I love him. For this bottle, we're gonna use this poison label that we made, and I'm gonna glue that on there. And then we're gonna wrap some twine around the top, make the cork look like an actual cork, and then make it kind of look dusty. Next, we're gonna use these little wooden rose curls to make mushrooms. And I got a stick from outside and broke it up, so we're gonna use those for the stems. Look how cute it is. And there we go. Look how cute this is. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of want to carry around this basket for Halloween and just give Lethal Lily something else. I think we're gonna keep the shape of the staff the same, but what I'm gonna do is paint over the wood to just give it more of that wood grain texture. And then maybe we'll wrap it with some twine, hang some trinkets and stuff off of it.
To improve the paint job on this skull, I mixed the paint with a tiny bit of water, brushed it on, and patted it away with a wet paper towel before it dried.
Something like that. Okay, we're gonna paint her face, but instead of base coating out the whole face and starting from scratch, I think what I wanna do is really just try and enhance what's there. We'll give her some sunken cheekbones, try and make her expression a little more evil, maybe put some wrinkles in the brow. She's made of latex, so it's a stretchy rubber, and usually to paint a latex mask like this, we will use latex house paint. But we're not doing that on this project because it's the dollar store challenge. So instead, we're gonna use acrylic paint, but mix that with a little bit of latex. We can't just use acrylic paint because you need something that's flexible, and if you just use acrylic, it's just gonna crack and fall off.
How are you feeling about painting the face? You got this?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Hard maybe. I don't have the base coat color. I don't have more green. So if I go too heavy on like the black and the shadows, I can't undo that unless I want to mix up and match this color.
Well, everybody's rooting for you. Let's see what you can do. Well, how'd it go? That looks so much better. Unbelievable.
She's got wrinkles and she's like scary grandma. Come into my swamp.
I especially love that you like basically added your own eyebrow stuff.
And I use like 2 colors, brown and black. That's it. We're in the home stretch, so one of the last things we're doing is her hat. Now, it's not a bad hat, so I think all I'm gonna do is give it the same treatment that I did her shirt, so color it with some blacks and browns. We're gonna leave the water lily because her name is Lethal Lily, so that can stay. But we'll just make the hat look dirtier. These are the plastic bags that Lethal Lily came in, so we're just gonna stuff it up in her hat to give it a little more shape. There we go. We were just about done. I was gonna put her belt on, but this is not working for me. I think it makes her look like a caveman. What do you think?
Like, it's cool, and I like that you achieved that with dollar store stuff, but I don't know, it doesn't really fit like everything else.
Also, these bones are super fragile. Look at this. That one broke in
it
half.
broke already?
Already, yeah, and we didn't do anything to it. I think it has to go.
I'll wear it.
Okay. So instead, I've got one more piece of that creepy cloth that I painted, and then we got one more piece of the gray. I think I want to drape it here so it's more like a cowl, and I think that's gonna look good.
I don't know, personally, I think she looked better in the brown turtleneck.
No. No, she did not.
Before we see Lethal Lily's full makeover, we just want to say thank you for watching. This is our first time doing like a dollar store challenge kind of thing, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, when you have constraints on what you're doing, it really forces you to be creative and think outside the box, and I'm really happy with what we came up with. If you want to see more of this type of stuff, let us know in the comments.
Our wicked shout outs this week go out to 9-year-old JJ, who made these incredibly cool monster books. Amazing work, JJ. And to 6-year-old Benji, who sent us these super awesome pictures that she drew. Great work to both of you. We really appreciate you sending us stuff, and we love seeing what you're doing.
Thanks again to Displate for sponsoring this video. You can check out their awesome metal posters using the link below. And until next time, stay wicked.
Come along into my lair. I'll be sure to take good care of you, my pretty. I just need a few ingredients that you seem to have. One eye, a liver. Oh, the stars are in perfect alignment tonight. It must be nearly time to help the spirit arise. Oh, I'm so happy you've come to help celebrate. You'll be fine. A fine potion